Greetings, my champions, and welcome to Live with Chatufa. The Zanu PF big wigs begin to flock at Tshinga Dube'S Homestead following the death of Comrade Tshinga Dube last night at Mater Dei Hospital. We have been talking about this issue from yesterday, where we were indicating that the man has been one of those people that really stood and spoke the truth. He's a man who did not fear people like Mnangagwa. He would say things as they are. Even with Mugabe, we saw him doing the very, very same thing, where he used to tell Mugabe that it is very wise and prudent for Mugabe to appoint a successor and not continue to just lead the country in darkness. So ZANU-PF official was chairman and minister of defense Opam Chinguri Kashiri has arrived at the homestead of the late retired Colonel Tshinga Dube to pass a condolences on behalf of Mnangagwa, ZANU-PF government, as well as Obet Mpofu. We see quite a lot of people flocking to the house of Tshinga Dube there, who has just passed away, and he was 83. The man was quite very old, and of course, he has been sick for quite a long time. With Tshinga Dube, you could see by mere look at him that the man was not healthy at all. I was so surprised when I saw the picture of the young Tshinga Dube. I was so shocked. It was, you can't believe that, the Tshinga Dube that we have known used to be that young and very handsome. You can't believe it. That is the Tshinga Dube that we used to know today. It is because of sickness and, of course, old age. But this is the reality of life. And these are things that we have been saying even last night, that, you see, the ZANU-PF people forget that death is a reality. People like Obet Mpofu, they think that they are not going to see this happening to them because they are invincible and they continue to oppress the Zimbabwean people doing what they want. But the truth of the matter is that one of these fine days, we are all going to depart from this earth. So we hear that Tshinga Dube has been declared a national hero, so which means he is going to be buried at the National Heroes Acre in Harare, a day that is yet to be announced. And we've not heard much talk from many of the ZANU-PF people, especially the top guys. They've not been coming out to comment on what has happened. But I'm sure we will soon be hearing them beginning to speak, since they are now availing themselves at the funeral. And maybe the next person to see there will be also Mnangagwa going there. But generally speaking, the man has been, praised as one of the men who really stood for the struggle. I saw quite a lot of photos of his when he was still in the bush and fighting the war and things like that. Something that has a history that can be followed, a track record that can be followed. Unlike our people like the Mr. Manizi Mchangwa, who always want to brag about him having gone to war, and yet we don't even have even a single V11 of Mchangwa being in the war, or any photograph of his maybe in combat or something like that, while we have quite a lot of many of those old veterans. They do have those photos, but with Mchangwa there is nothing, and Mchangwa does not want to hear about that story. When you want to make Mchangwa angry, talk about a photo of his during the time of the war. He doesn't want to hear about that. I'm sure probably it is because he does not have any, and he has just hijacked this the struggle or something like that. We hear that when Mchangwa, they were at school busy advancing their education during the time of the war, and they never really went into the bush or took combat like the rest of the others. So this is what maybe frightens him to just say, myself, I had gone to advance my education. He thinks that maybe people will not see him as a war veteran enough. So we will continue to be giving you updates of what is going to be happening at the Tshinga Dube homestead, as well as the plans that will be coming in place as to how and when he is going to be buried. But like we have been saying yesterday, that the man who used to speak openly against the wrongs that were done in ZANU-PF is gone. And I don't know whether we are going to still have any other Tshinga Dube again. But this is what it is. That is part of life. We continue to send our condolences to the Bulawayo ZANU PF people, and I mean ZAPU people, not ZANU PF, ZAPU cadres who were with him in the struggle, as well as his family. Otherwise, this is what it is. Just an update of what is happening. Thank you so much for joining me on the show. We'll be meeting again in the upcoming shows. Remain blessed.